Hey, what's up, Mental Health Nation? As you can see, I am in a different environment. I'm still in Virginia. As you guys know, Saturday I was at the Emmys. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But before we jump into everything, as you can see, Lynn's with me today, so she's going to update everybody on what she's been doing. And maybe later on, my buddy Tom Campbell, retired Command Sergeant Major Campbell, who I might crashing at his house. He's the one that's been watching the Green Goblin. He may come out and visit with us for a little bit. But hey, before we jump into everything, you see the QR code up there on the left. That's for Rees Across America. It's for the Rees. You click on that QR code. You can donate $5. It's a great program. I'm super proud to be part of them. But along with that, they have Rees Across America Radio, and they replay my broadcast on Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m. And it's super easy to find. You just download the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, or the Odyssey app. Search for Rees Across America Radio, and not only can you see my great programming, but you can also see there all the other great programming they have going on. And super humbled and proud to be a part of them. But also down below, you can see the shop VeteranTrashTalk.com. That is to our Veterans Trash Talk store. We can get all of our great T-shirts and other things made up, and we do a lot of great things, and that kind of helps supports everything that we do. But with that, Lynn, before I jump into my stuff, why don't you introduce everybody and tell them what you've been doing? Because the last 2 weeks you've been traveling, so you haven't been on the podcast. So everybody's excited to know.
Yeah, so I just want to apologize for my connection right now. It's kind of storming on and off right now in Florida, so it might be a little bit lagging. But I have been traveling. So starting off, obviously, Memorial Day, I did Ginny Springs. So I was there for like 5 days. And then I came back. I was back for a few days. And then I left for San Diego, California. And I was there for a week. And my son, one of my sons lives out there. And I went there for his graduation because he did his high school years with his dad out in San Diego, and he graduated with honors. So I'm super proud of him.
Congratulations for that.
Thank you. And so he was wearing a red robe, which only like 30 of them got to wear it, and the rest of the class wore like black robes.
Yeah, wow.
So he graduated from Mount Miguel in Spring Valley, and he was also like the president of the Filipino Club, and he has a volunteer service award, and he was in drama club and volleyball, so he has a lot of like accolades and stuff like that, and did college classes as well. So I was super proud of him there. I was able to also catch up a lot of friends and family. A lot of my people from the Navy still live out in San Diego, so I was out there. And then, actually, I was able to do a podcast while in San Diego. I remember that. I was there.
Yeah. You're 3 weeks ago, though, I think. It's been 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah. So, but the following week, I was traveling on a Wednesday, so I missed that. And then I just been out of town. So, let me see. Then the weekend passed. That was my oldest son's birthday. He turned 23 on the 15th. And my oldest son flew back with me from California.
Nice.
So he's been here. So we celebrated that weekend and had a pool party. And then last weekend I was in Tampa. Now this weekend I'll be in Mexico, Cancun. And then the following weekend I'll be in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and then Philadelphia. And then the following weekend I'll be in New Smyrna Beach, then Orlando. So almost every weekend I've been jam-packed for the summer. So it's been a super fun, busy summer for me, which is good. Takes my mind off of, work and then like regular life. So summer's been pretty fun so far.
Well, that's awesome. One of the things I've been posting this week is, summer tips for your mental health. And my mental health break was today. Everybody's busy with the summertime and a lot of stuff going on. And it's okay just to take a break every now and then for yourself. So, Lynn, don't forget to take a break for yourself.
Yep. I got a nice golden brown tan. I'm brown now. So I've just been doing nothing but being out in the sun when it's not raining in Florida. So fortunately it hasn't rained that much, but it's raining today.
Did your Jeep text you while it was gone and saying it missed you?
Oh, I missed my Jeep. Right when I got back, I was like, oh my God, my baby.
So how many times have you been ducked?
Fortunately, well, I don't really
I
Um,
know you've been ducked once, right? You've
around
been
our
ducked
park.
once, right?
Yeah, I got ducked at Ginny Springs, but then
Oh,
other than
okay.
that, like I don't go anywhere because
Ah,
I work from home, and then when I drive to work, I don't drive my Jeep,
ah.
so I haven't really been ducked.
Yeah, okay. Well, you got ducked once, so that's good. So if anybody's out there wondering, because we made a big joke about that a couple weeks ago about Lynn
Yeah.
getting ducked for the first time, she's
So my
officially
sister
got
had
ducked.
ducks in her Amazon cart because I went through her Amazon and I was like, "Hey,"
Uh,
I deleted it. I deleted. I was like, "No, you're not."
do
She
they
actually
write notes on the duck, or they just put the duck on there?
well, they just you can they can write notes. I
Okay,
think
I was just
some of
curious
them
about
do
that.
it because I know like okay, so when you go on a cruise, they do the duck thing and then they put like notes or like hashtag something if you
Hmm.
found this duck, whatever. I think some Jeep owners do that too. But the person who invented the duck thing or like made it didn't invent it but made it like a huge success. She just passed away the other day.
Oh, she did. Oh, how
Yeah,
sad.
I think her name was like Amanda, and like my family sent me the article. I was like, oh, that's so sad. I hate to hear about people passing away. But and then so Jeep partnered up with her company that she was making, and they made like a brand new duck, and it looks really cool. It looks like a Valkyrie kind of Viking duck.
Hmm.
And I was like, I'm still not putting ducks on my Jeep.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's interesting. For a lot of people who don't own Jeeps, you don't know about that culture. I've had friends of mine that had Jeeps.
Yeah.
They get the ducks and they line them up across their dash. I'm assuming some of the nicer ones, but
Well, I'm more of a passenger princess anyway. And so, like, if I'm with my sister or my friends, they're the ones driving for
yeah,
me because I don't want to drive, especially like if I'm drinking. And
sure.
I have
Well,
to
that's
like,
very smart. Great point to make. Don't drink and drive. Good point.
right. And even if I'm not drinking, I still don't want to drive.
Yeah,
But I have to coach them on the Jeep culture. Like, don't forget to do the Jeep wave.
that's right.
Like hand on the steering wheel. But as soon as I get out of my neighborhood, I'm already getting like at least three Jeep waves within like 2 blocks.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you are
because
in
I
Florida.
live
I
by the
mean,
beach. So, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm as you know, I came to Virginia, and you guys know that last Saturday I have been humbled and honored to partner with the Able Channel. They filmed a documentary on me. It was filmed during COVID, and then there was delays in production and everything, and they released it. They did a soft release, and then they did the final release last year, and we got nominated for an Emmy in the 66th annual Emmy Awards in DC. And so that's why I came to Virginia for that. And for you guys don't know, because I've been posting it like crazy on my social media, I put together a little video, and so we're gonna watch a little video of it. And I'm gonna talk about it a little bit because I have a hard time talking about anything. Um, because I do what I do, and then you do what you do, just to help other people. We don't expect to get recognized for it. We just do what we do, and it's hard for me to talk about this a whole lot, but I need to talk about it because it's important, and it just shows the validity of all the work that we're doing. Everybody that's going out there and with Veterans Trash Talk and with us and with everybody, what we're trying to do, and it just shows that we're kind of on the right path, and what we're doing is the right thing to be doing. And it's nice to be kind of recognized for that on such a big stage. And so, with that, Chris, you mind playing the video? Now, mind you, I'm no videographer, so I just threw this together with my Power Director app. So I think I did a pretty good job.
D'Alba. I'm WUSA 9's midday and 4 p.m. anchor, and I just got here. I'm new to town. I've been in Washington, D.C. for a couple of months, and let me tell you, I came out of the great state of Texas, and it is so good to be working here in D.C. with all of you. I'm going to present the nominees for Societal Concerns long form. The nominees are
Buzz, the least of these. Buzz for good. Speak Out DC. DC Office of Cable Television, Film, Music, and Entertainment. Surviving Suicide. Stories of Help and Hope. Able Channel. Tras la sombra del fentanilo. EDU Futuro. The final Emmy goes to Surviving Suicide. Stories of Help and Hope. Able Channel.
He had taken an overdose of sleeping pills. Didn't know how many. They're like, okay, they got him back to a bed.
The first recollection I have in the hospital is me laying in bed,
and I'm coming out of the fog, and I got this big roaring light. I am.
So for all you guys who didn't see it, that's us walking to the stage. Now it's
Yeah.
funny because until I went back the day after the Emmys and I made that little video, I hadn't watched it because we were there. And walking to the stage, they didn't play that, so we didn't know that that little thing you saw about Truman Hospital, and that's actually my older brother talking, who found me after a suicide attempt. And so I was teasing him because my older brother always seems to weasel into things, right? And so here he is now speaking at the Emmys, and so I had to tease him endlessly about that. But I'm super proud and humble of that. Able Channel, they went out on a limb to film the Surviving Suicide series. A lot of people in the industry told them don't do it, it's
Hmm.
too controversial. Don't even touch that. And because of personal reasons, Brian, who lost a family member to suicide, really felt compelled to push forward with that. And I'm super excited to be part of that. And just to be nominated for an Emmy is a huge honor. And but to go on and win it, it was funny. We were sitting there for about 3 hours before we actually got up on stage. And Brian was telling me this. He's like, it's hard to win an Emmy, but to be nominated is such a great honor, and you have a lot of things to be proud of. We did a lot of great work on this, and so then when they called our name, we were just all in complete shock. We really didn't think we were going to win, to be honest with you. I was just happy to be there, and I got to share that moment with Junior, well, which was really nice. I got to show off my Italian suit, which was pretty awesome.
You look pretty spoofy there.
Yeah, I did.
Congratulations. That was really cool to watch you guys walk down the red carpet to get your trophies.
I know, and then the little boy there came up and he was high fiving us, and I
Hmm.
slapped his hand and he turned right back to his dad and he says, "I know three famous people now. I touched three famous people." So I thought that was funny. But it's interesting. So you go on stage, and that's not the real Emmy that you get. You walk off stage, and then of course the Emmy goes to the Able channel. They don't technically go to me. Um,
Right.
and then they get the Emmy, and then they got the interviews on the background. And I didn't get interviewed. Brian is obviously is the CEO of Able Channel, got interviewed, but he did talk about the mental health warrior and things I do in his interview. So it's just a pretty amazing thing to have happen. I mean, I grew up in a small town of 6,000 people. Never thought in a million years. I watched the Emmys on TV and the Oscars and all that would actually be standing there holding one. And then after you get off stage and they give you the real one, and then you walk around back and you take pictures, with the real Emmy. Those things are heavy, because
Yeah.
they I don't know what percent of gold they have in them, but they have gold in them. And so I was just surprised how heavy it was, and it was just a really awesome time. And what was nice is the other gentleman up there was Brian's son, and Brian had won an Emmy before, but his son, who's now in his mid 20s, was a baby the last time he won an Emmy. And so for him to be able to share that moment with his son, but also me able to share it with my son, and of course Paul was the other tall guy that was standing next to me, was pretty amazing. It was just so helpful and thankful for that, and to go and have that experience was pretty amazing. I never, like I said, in a million years, I would never thought that would ever happen at all, ever.
That's really cool. So I want to know about like when you get to the Emmys, like do they have gift bags? Like is there like a buffet? Is it a sit down dinner? Like do you order
Hmm.
it? Is it provided? I want to know the
So
whole experience.
okay, so we had to show up at 5, and that was kind of an open
Yeah.
social. And so you buy your tickets and get your drinks. It was a sit-down dinner. That started at 6 to 6:30, and then at 6:30 the awards presentation started. And this is, this for all. I mean, it was like 100 and some odd awards they gave out that
Yeah.
day. So it was quite. It lasted about 4 hours in total.
Wow.
And so you sit there and they give it out. Each of the awards. But what they did here is, instead of allowing the interviews on stage, they do them off stage, and that
Okay.
just allows it to go faster, because then you go to another studio off stage, and that's where you talk and do all the photos behind, which makes sense, because then it'd be 8 hours that the Emmys would be running instead of 6. And so yeah, so it was just kind of neat. And then afterwards, we had a couple of drinks afterwards, but I mean, I'm sure there was parties somewhere, but we just walked back to our hotel.
Yeah.
We didn't stay at the hotel it was at, because of Marriott, and I stayed at Hilton's. But yeah, it was a good experience. It was great. It was funny because Junior shows up, and maybe it was my fault, and I explained to him about what suit he should have brought. So then we had to go to a store and get him different pants and, and different things, and kind of make his his outfit a little bit better, a little bit nicer, I guess. But it all worked out. But it's kind of Dad's fault. But he'll come to Italy this summer, and I'll get him a good Italian suit and that. But it's interesting about that Italian suit. So I bought that suit from Antonio. No, wait, I forgot the name. I'll remember the name. But anyway, she told me that when you fold it up and put it in your suitcase, it won't wrinkle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, right. So I put it on the plane. I fly here. I get here to DC. I take it out of the bag, hang it up, open it up. It's not wrinkled. I wear that suit 6+ hours at the Emmys, and get back and take it off. Still no wrinkles in it. I couldn't believe it. In the pants and the jacket I'm talking about.
That's
Couldn't believe
amazing.
it. Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah.
And the shoes are really comfortable too. So I don't know. Going on a tangent there, but
Was there anybody that, like, did you see any A-list celebrities or any celebrities that you were starstruck by?
there was a lot of this was this wasn't like for the movie Emmys and things like that. This was for programming, little programming and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Things you do at the local level. Not local, but I mean at the not the movie star things. But there were some local celebrities there that I've seen on news channels and things like that, and other things, and yeah. So I'm not big into celebrities, so I'm not good about picking out celebrities.
Yeah. That's cool.
I
I
guess
mean, I
maybe
know the Emmys is for like daytime shows, right? Like programming and stuff. So they probably like have everyone separated.
Yeah,
for
so they all
celebrities.
so it's all different. But
Yeah.
it's almost a year-long process from the time that you get picked to the time you get nominated till the time you're actually at the event.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning, if you go back and watch it's Capital Emmys, they explain that process shortly, but they kind of explain what it goes through. And it's all independent judges, and they're spread out all over the country. They're not just in one area, and so to go through that scoring system and be able to make it and win is pretty amazing, because everybody's gonna look at everything differently, and how they see stories or how the filming goes, and look at things differently. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And thanks, Brian, for the congratulations, and thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Tom's over here working in his garden. I don't know if he's gonna walk over or not, but maybe I'll pressure him to walk over and say hi.
I've got on my page, I have Dan Z. We call him Old Man Dan. He said, "Very cool." So
Thank you,
I don't know
Dan.
if he's
Appreciate it.
yeah.
I should
So
film
it's good.
Tom jumping over the fence right now to get over into school. Last night, I'll let him talk about it. We're playing in his garden. Let me scoot the camera back some so Tom can get in the picture here. There you go.
Hey Tom.
Hey, look
How
at that.
you
The world
doing?
famous retired Command Sergeant Major Tom Campbell joining us right now.
Yeah, sitting by the celebrity.
Yeah, but we're by your pool. But if you guys don't know, Tom's the one that's been watching my green Mustang while I'm in Italy, and you've been enjoying driving it around. And
Yeah.
yeah, he actually made it run a little bit better, so he played with it a lot. So we just got done talking about the Emmys, so we had to talk about it. So I told him he needed to update the security before I rolled into town and make sure his cameras are good. And
Yeah,
my
we went out to
security
eat
team-
last night. I had the lady meet us at the door and escort us to the table. Felt good.
Nice.
That's funny. That's what a hostess does.
That's exactly what they do.
I know, but it made me feel important for a minute.
Mm-hmm. That's
But
awesome.
we were working in Tom's garden yesterday, so it's always good to, I like working in gardens. Of course, I don't have a garden in Italy. But after we got done, Tom says, "Hey, let's we went and ate dinner today. When we get done with the dinner, let's jump in the pool last night." And so we jumped in the pool, and I had a distinct pleasure of having a drink. I'm gonna let him talk about the drink that he made.
Yeah, it was an apple pie in a jar.
Oh, is it
So,
kind of like a moonshine?
yeah, like a moonshine.
Like the moonshine apple pie? That sounds pretty good.
I'm gonna tell you what, it tastes exactly like an apple pie. I can't believe it. I mean, if you bit into an apple pie, that's exactly what this tastes like. And then I don't remember anything else from the rest of the night, but I woke up naked in his yard.
Now I want to know: is the pool warm because of this time of the year over there?
It's 85 degrees. The
Yeah.
water's 85 degrees right now.
Yeah, so like my pool here in Florida during the day, it's about 90 degrees.
Ooh,
And then
Good
at
Lord.
night, it goes down to about 87 because I have a little temperature thingy that floats
Yeah,
around in the
right.
pool, so I know.
yeah.
Like in the wintertime, I don't even dare go into the pool because it's so cold. I don't even have a pool heater. I probably should get one.
Well, only if you're gonna swim in the
yeah.
wintertime.
Yeah, well, the kids they actually like to do. We call it a polar plunge.
Yeah.
So like once a year, we'll do like maybe a January like cookout, and they'll do a polar plunge during that time, and
Nice.
it's pretty cold. So, and then I think when I came from San Diego, it was pretty cold too. With the water out there. Yeah.
Yeah, the ocean's cold out there in San
Mhm.
Diego.
Mhm.
Yeah. Was that Pacific Ocean? Pacific
Yeah,
Ocean, yeah.
It's a Pacific Ocean. Well, my husband's actually he's stationed out there at Yorktown.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
no, I think he lives in Yorktown. He's stationed in like Newport, like where the shipyard is.
Is he at Little?
At the shipyard. Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah.
Littleton?
Hampton.
Hampton.
Yeah.
No,
No.
the shipyard is in Newport.
I know that they have Little Neck
I
here.
know.
Is he at Little Neck?
No, he's on the other side by
Yeah.
by
Oh,
Yorktown.
it's in Norfolk.
Actually, right down the road where we used to live at.
Oh,
That's where the
yeah,
shipyard's
Norfolk.
at.
Yeah,
Right
across
on
the
the
bridge.
Newport News side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Of
Yeah.
the line.
It's Newport News. It's not. It's like
Yeah.
on that side of the peninsula.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like you can go if you go across like the bridge or the tunnel. That's Norfolk.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
so he's in Newport News.
yeah, Newport News, and he lives in Yorktown.
Okay, nice.
So,
Yeah, we're right across the bridge from Yorktown.
mhm.
The right across the York River from Yorktown.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh,
technically he
that's
lives in Hayes, Virginia,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
In fact, if you walk through those woods over there, you'll see Yorktown across the
Yeah.
river.
He's talking about those woods over there. You walk through those woods.
Yeah,
Ah, okay. That's a pretty big property.
Yeah, he's got several acres here.
yeah.
That's cool.
We got a little hobby farm.
That's cool. So
People-
where do you keep the Mustang so I can know where to get it? I'm just kidding.
Oh, well, you see back behind us there, that's the garage on the other
Yeah.
side. That's where the Mustang is. But next week, I hope the
Mhm.
camera up. If you see that cement slab over there, they're building his new
Yeah.
shop, 30 by 50.
Wow.
And
That's
so he's
cool.
gonna have a fabrication shop, and we can do all
Mhm.
kinds of stuff. We build
Yeah.
engines, all kinds of things. So I was hoping it'd be done when I was here, so I could help him move stuff in. But they had some delays with the rain and other stuff.
Contractors ain't playing ball.
Yeah. Stuff happens.
Damn it, that's like the worst torture too. When you just see that slab out there, and you,
Right.
lifelong dream of having your
Yeah.
shop, and they keep delaying you on it. That's mental torture there. So how do you deal with that mental? Oh, I don't know, apple pie
Oh,
moonshine.
yeah. Apple pie moonshine. Root beer moonshine
Yeah.
when I run out.
So, if you guys don't know, Tom and I have been friends. We've been through similar situations. He just retired as command sergeant major, right, out of the Army last year. And along with speaking events like I do, you also do a comedy show.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them about your comedy show a little bit? Or what you do what's your comedy,
Yeah, well,
your persona?
yeah, so it's redneck humor. But yeah, what Cliff said, I mean, I do speaking engagements similar to what Cliff does, and share my story of when I tried to end my life. And but I also do comedy, and I started doing comedy really to get myself in front of people, and then it just kind of kept growing. And but my idea anyway, is if I can make one person laugh, even if it's for 15 seconds, they could have had the crappiest day of their life, and they showed
That's
up to
true.
the show because they bought the tickets, don't want to waste the money. But that's 15 seconds. I just took them out of whatever ails them, and put their mind in somewhere good.
That's true. That's a good point. Because when you go to a comedy show, you don't think about anything
You're
else.
right. You don't.
You're just
I mean,
laughing your butt. Well, you hope you're laughing,
yeah.
but then you start drinking, and then you laugh some more. I know.
So me,
I went to one in, I forget what it was, here in Virginia, and it's an old comedy club. It's like where
Oh yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld and
Uh,
the Comedy Shop.
yeah. No, the name just popped out of my head. I actually did a show in there a couple months ago.
Oh, we saw Guilford
Cozy,
Godfrey.
Cozy Comedy Club.
Cozy.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
saw Gilbert Godfrey in there one time. They used to do the Affleck commercials.
Yeah,
Affleck.
right.
Man, that
Yeah.
guy's hilarious. He is. I never saw him do stand up
his
before.
voice is just like so distinct, and he like yells everything. So he's
Yeah.
just funny.
Man, I mean, I was rolling in there, man.
Yeah.
That was funny. But even the other the comedians there were funny, not just the headliner.
Right,
But
right.
that's a small club, though.
It is.
It's
is a
very
club.
small. But I guess in that community, they give back, so they go back to
Right.
the clubs where they got their when they started at.
Yeah. Well, Cozy, the neat thing of Cozy is it's small, which means it's an intimate show.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really interact with.
Not
the
naked
audience
intimate,
and-
Brian. Get
Yeah,
your head
yeah.
out of the gutter.
I was gonna say for me, humor and comedy is therapy. You
It
know,
is.
Yeah.
so like when my mama passed away, me and my sister went to a comedy show. We worked out, we went running, we did all the healthy stuff, and then like to get our mind off of things, we go to a comedy show. And so to just laugh away, and that's kind of like that's what Irreverent Warriors does also, because
Yeah.
that's part of our mission is we use humor and camaraderie to improve mental health and
Have
prevent
you done the
veteran.
Reverend Warrior hike?
I haven't. No.
Man, you got to do one of those. You ought to get people from IMT to go to them.
They have one in Virginia Beach.
Oh,
And I don't know if that passed already, but Virginia Beach, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philly, they have one like in all the major cities, really.
Explain to Tom, because you're way more better than I went to one in Trieste, Italy. It was amazing. But it's just a
Yeah.
group of veterans and active duty members,
Right.
whatever, and you all get together and hike, and it's for mental awareness, to stop soldier
Right, right,
suicide,
right.
veteran suicide. But Lynn's really hit more. Lynn's the reason I went and did it, because she talked about it so much on the podcast. So explain to Tom what all it does, because I did a
Okay.
terrible job.
So it's really not an athletic event. We call it a hike, and really it's like a 2 to 3 mile pace. And the
Yeah.
only people that are allowed to participate are people that can get DD 214s. So active duty, retired, veterans, reservists, people like that. People like us, veterans only. Like if you can get a DD 214, you can participate. And those are the people that are allowed to participate. And the reason why it's just us is because as veterans, we have a certain humor. And that's why we say irreverent, because irreverent could also mean sarcastic. It also means dark. It means all of that. So it means cold-hearted humor, or just dry humor, things like that. And we all get together just because when you get out of the military, you don't realize after being out for so long that you do miss that camaraderie, that like there's something missing in your life that you had for the majority of your life, right? Or for me, I did 10 years, and so for my formidable years, I grew up in the military pretty much, and so you're missing that cohesiveness, that camaraderie. And so we get together, and we're not necessarily talking about our war stories. What we're doing is just talking about life and just ha ha and kikiing. We wear our little vests, our gear, and the uniform of the day is, we call it silkies, the hoochie daddy shorts, right?
Your Ranger
The
shorts.
ranger panties.
Yeah, right.
And
I
then
didn't wear Ranger panties. I didn't have any. I just wore
you
short
don't
shorts.
have to, of course. People who don't, like, sometimes I don't. But yeah, it's just a good time to get together. And then there's several stops along the way. So it could be anywhere from like 5 to 10 miles. But there's several stops along the way. Like, for instance, for my hike, every half mile, there's a stop. So we stop at the park, we stop at the beach, we stop at a bar, we stop at a hoorah place where you pick up heavy shit and you put it back down.
Mm-hmm.
And like Marines love that. And then we stop at another bar, we have lunch is provided, and then depending on where your route goes, you go back to where you started. So for us, we stop and start at the VFW. I am the local coordinator for Northeast Florida, Jacksonville Beach.
Right.
So and then you get to know these people, and then some people start traveling to different hikes. So like when Cliff went to the Italy hike, I knew everyone who went.
Yeah, she did. She did. And
I,
they all said it. They said, "Oh, you're the mental health warrior." Yeah, Lynn's
yeah.
here. She's like, she said, "Make sure he has a good time."
Yes, yes, yes. But it's a great time, and it's you won't regret it. Like if you just
Right.
go in with the right mindset, it's all about your attitude.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
you have a good attitude, you'll get good stuff out of it.
You
So
know,
whatever
'cause
you put out in the world, that's what you're gonna get back.
that's true. That's true.
Right.
Because even on our hike, I was talking to a young, I think he was young army kid, E5, E6, and he was talking to me. He's like, they have programs for USO and other things, but it really
Yeah.
doesn't get the kids out of the barracks. And he said, when I was younger, I almost lost my military career because I was hanging out in the barracks by myself, and
Yeah.
not doing the right things, and it said almost cost my career. It says, but they don't know how to get these kids out of the barracks. I know how because I was that
Yeah.
kid, and so we talked about different programs and things, but that was just kind of like it's like a
Right.
mentoring
Right.
thing.
Right.
But we talked, I talked to a kid that just graduated warrant officer school,
Yeah.
and so you never who know you're going to talk to about anything, and it may not even be military related. I mean, we talked
Yeah.
about all
Right.
kinds of crap.
And sometimes they're just looking for somebody for an ear to listen. But
Yeah.
look, some of my friends are like, did somebody say hoochie daddy? Pearson. And then Dan Z, he said Go Ruck. So that was where we stopped at. Go Ruck headquarters is actually in Jacksonville Beach. They sell all the tactical stuff, tactical gear,
I
all of
think
that, and
I
like
think
hiking gear.
I think September 14th they have one in London. I may go to that one.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they do. They do have one in London.
Yeah,
So
so I
you
think
should do it.
I may make that trip and make that one. It was good because I
Mhm.
know in ours when we went to Trust Day, it was a little bit longer. It was about a little bit less than 10 miles. But when we did our walk, we stopped at like this light tower,
Yeah.
and he got permission for us to go up on the top of it. And it's
Oh
manned
wow.
like one by one Italian Navy guy or something, right?
Yeah.
But we could go all the way to the top. But then he got permission to fly a drone, and so he got the drone to go up take pictures. But you could see all of Trust Day
Hmm.
when you're up there, and it's
Right.
pretty
Right.
amazing. That was just a halfway point, and then we ended at a castle. I forget the name of it, but that castle during World War II, the army actually took control of it
Right.
and had control of it for a lot of times. There's a plaque outside that tells you about it. Well, we ended there,
Hmm.
and then you walked down the hill and got on a ferry and rode the ferry back to where we started.
Oh wow.
It was
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forget the guy's name, but he put a lot of work into that,
he did.
and it was a good fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every single hike, and we're in over 150 plus cities nationwide. So if you just go on irreverentwarriors.com, you'll find something, or even on Facebook groups. But every hike, every city has something different to offer. Like coming up Fort Walton Beach in October, we're gonna do Crab Island, like the day before, renting out boats to float. So that's like around Destin and Fort Walton area, like a
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
spring break area, right? And they have sandbars out there. So they're gonna go hang out at the sandbar and float and all that stuff the day before the hike. So and then on the hike day, like after the hike, they have something called a hot tub takeover, where like everyone just takes over the hot tub, and then they do a polar plunge, where they like swim into the cold pool.
Yeah. Well,
So every hike has something different to offer.
Right.
You just have to go out there and explore. But I really enjoyed Virginia Beach hike. That was a lot of fun. I know that this last one they kind of switched it up, but when I went, we went on the boardwalk. And then I think they also had around the time they had the Navy Chiefs when they did their whole initiation. I think they had like a whole like platoon out there like marching and running with us. So
Awesome.
but yeah, I can go on about it
yeah.
because
Now I was
I've done so
texting that they need
many.
to find one and join it. That's why I was
Yeah.
texting on my phone to people watching
Yeah,
Irreverent Warrior. But it is a lot of fun. It's summertime. There's a lot of things going on, and for some people, if you're lonely, especially for the Vietnam veteran population, I know on our hike we had some that were of that generation. They don't have a lot of people around, and nobody nowadays should suffer in silence. And we should always, have an outlet or have somebody we can go and talk to. And I got my buddy Tom. that I can, fly into Italy and hang out with and whatever. But it's just important to have that. And I think sometimes we forget that and we don't understand that there's a lot of things out there like your Reverend Warriors and your Veterans Trash Talk, the Facebook page. You're never alone. And even if you think you are, you're not really alone. I mean, there's somebody out there who knows you, who wants you around. And, it's just very important to always remember that and always have that person in your phone that you can pick up and call. Just go have a drink or drink some apple pie moonshine with in a pool
Right. And
and laugh
I
at yourself. Go find a
so
comedy show. That's my challenge for everybody this week. Go do a
even
comedy show.
Well, even the local chapters, they should have different things going on. Like for us, we meet up at the VFW. Sometimes we meet up every Wednesday. So they have this coming
Oh,
weekend. We have an event for SeaWorld. So we all got the free Busch Garden SeaWorld ticket. So a bunch of us and our families are going to meet up there.
nice.
I'm not going to be there, but like it's an event that I put on that my girl Brooke is heading up for me. But for me, I'm taking the whole entire like summer off, not doing any IW stuff because I'm the leader, so that's like work
Yeah.
for me. But as soon as the summer's over, I'm getting back and I'm hitting the pavement running. So
Well, you got a whole bunch of other stuff going on to do too. I mean, you can only do so much, and you got to learn to have
yeah,
limits, right? And it's always important to have that.
true.
But hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Tom, thanks for jumping in. I
I
know I
appreciate it.
interrupted you doing your garden work out there. He's out there watering in his garden. But Lynn, I want to say thank you for jumping in. I know you've been really busy, and I texted you at the last minute because we didn't think we were going to do a show, and I thought, well, you know what, I'll try it out by his pond and see how his pond, his cement pond,
Yeah.
and
Marina salt.
yeah, and see how it went. And thanks for tuning in, Lynn, and telling us everything. With that, Lynn, I'll let you speak, and I'll let Tom speak, and then I'll close this out.
Well, I just wanted to say happy 4th of July because it's coming
Oh
up,
yeah,
right? So
yeah.
make sure that
Next
you guys,
week,
whatever you plan, be safe. Make sure you're safe with the fireworks. Don't blow your
don't leave no
fingers
fingers
off.
out. Yeah.
Like, I'm actually traveling July 3rd. I'm traveling up to Norfolk and then going to Washington, D.C. So if you plan on doing a show, I don't know if I'll be able to join then. But I just want to say happy holidays, happy 4th of July to everybody and enjoy your time. Make sure that you check in with your people. If you
Hmm.
haven't heard from them in a long time, check in with them. Make sure that they're doing good. Find a IW hike near you and check out our website, www.VeteranTrashTalk.com, for all of our podcasts and all of our merch.
That's right. Tom, you have anything else?
Yeah, well, I'll be in New York for 4th of July, so no shows down here in this area. Uh, yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, I'll just piggyback on what both you said. Is I mean, for everybody out there, I mean, don't spend, especially this weekend coming up, don't spend it alone. Uh, Find somebody that you have something in
Common.
common
Yeah.
with, and I share that a lot when I do my speaking engagements. Is one is, I mean, and I do a lot of, I've got a lot of hobbies, and which keeps my mind occupied, so I don't go, and which is one of my fears of an unoccupied mind and going back into my dark place.
That's a good point.
Uh, but but my hobbies though involve other veterans, and when I'm drag racing, I've got veterans out there at the pit with me. When I go fishing, I'm normally with a veteran fishing buddy. When I'm hunting, normally me and John Klein, I mean, he's the CG for IMT. We're probably any weekend during hunting season, you can guarantee we're out in the woods together, in the duck blind together. But spend time with people that you have something in common
Yeah.
with, and uh,
Yes.
and don't spend it alone.
Yeah.
Be safe doing it, but don't do it alone.
Hey, Lynn, how long are you going to be around this area when you come out in July?
Um, well, I get to Norfolk and then we're driving straight to DC,
Okay.
DC to Baltimore, Philly, and then like I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I fly out. You guys know that my brother's sister, my brother's wife passed away last Friday, so I'm flying July 2nd out to him to
Hmm.
Kansas City, and I'll be back July 11th, and I fly back July 14th to go back
Wow.
to Italy. So if you're around the 11th through the 13th, let me know.
Yeah. I'm
Maybe
flying back on
Lynn
the
and I
8th.
can have
So
have dinner or something. But
we'll
and
just miss each other because I'm flying back on the 8th.
okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
But hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. thanks for Lynn and Tom for those. The crows are squawking now. That's why I was watching them fighting over there. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Click on that QR code up the corner there so you can donate for Wreaths Across America Radio and ensure that those wreaths are put on the veterans' tombstone, over the holiday season. Since I am still with Virginia, so mine is still Arlington Cemetery, but at the Oversale Arlington Cemetery, obviously the wreaths go out to all the veteran cemeteries all across the United States. And along with that, as you know, is they replay my podcast at Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m. on Wreaths Across America Radio. Super easy to find. You just download the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, or the Odyssey app, and search for Wreaths Across America Radio. And not only for my programming, but all for the great programming. And look at that 10th Mountain. I'm wearing their t-shirt today. I bought a whole bunch of 10th Mountain bourbon to take back to Italy with me because my friends in Italy, they like that bourbon. And so obviously they can't get it over there. So Chris is holding it for me. So kudos to Chris for holding my bourbon for me. I'll pick it up on the 11th. But hey, if you haven't tried it yet, go out there, click on it, and you know what? I was not a bourbon drinker. They switched me to bourbon. I was a Scotch drinker, but the bourbon's good. It's awesome. But hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Have a great, safe weekend. And hey, listen, we're our brothers and sisters keepers out there, so let's watch out for each other. Everybody, take care.